Hi Abraham, this is Dave Casson, and today I'll be reviewing 7 critical issues with your website that are costing you money. So let's get right into it and take a look at those 7 critical issues. So number 1, looking at your website, you have a website that I would call more brochure-like than a website that sells. In other words, you have a website with some information on it, but isn't really driving visitors into action and isn't driving visitors into sales or toward your business. So one of the things that we'll be looking at is how to help you with that. Number 2, you're not capturing the names and the emails of visitors. This is critical for being able to get in touch with them and hopefully sell them on your organization. And number 3, you're focusing on features instead of customer benefits. So why should they join your home in your rehab center? Number 4, you don't have headlines in order to capture interest quickly when people visit the website. Very critical for attracting attention. Number 5, you don't have any testimonials or social proof. Number 6, you don't have a friendly design and navigation for website visitors. And number 7, your calls to action for the website visitors are weak. So let's take a look at your website and see how these issues are at play and some suggestions for potentially improving these things on your website. Okay. So number 1, your website is designed more like a brochure site than a website that sells. You have some information here. You have some basic welcome screens and activities, but it's fairly basic and static and doesn't do a whole lot of selling. And with a website, you want to have something out there that's going to be sort of like a salesman. An online salesman for your organization at Birchwood Plaza. And right now your website is fairly static and is just some basic information, isn't really popping out to visitors. So some of the things that we'll do is help you kind of turn this into more of a visitor focused, someone who's visiting and looking to potentially place a loved one here. Help them make a decision on whether or not to do that. So number 2, you'd have no mechanism for capturing email and names of visitors. So you're spending a lot of money on yellow pages and other advertisement, driving them to the website, but then you have no way of getting their information. So you could potentially be losing these folks after they visit. People oftentimes will do their visiting of different websites just to compare and get some information, and without capturing those email addresses and those names, you have no way to follow up with them, send them more information, and potentially get them to visit. This is just a critical thing that you want to have with your website and is going to drive a lot more business going toward your way. So we can definitely help you with that piece of your website. Number 3, we want to have a focus on features. We want to have a focus on benefits, I should say, rather than a focus on features. And so at a high level, you do a pretty good job of this. You have some ideas around benefits here, but we definitely want to re-emphasize that, because when people are going into a rehab and nursing center, we definitely want to emphasize the safety, the health care, and the comfort that the loved ones will be in. So I think you have some good points on this, but it could definitely be emphasized and kind of laid out in a stronger manner, so that people visiting will see those kind of highlights for for the visitors. Definitely help you get more folks interested in visiting and hopefully signing up to enter the center. So number 4 with your website is a lack of headlines. And if you think about headlines, if you think about reading a newspaper, when you read a newspaper, you pick it up, you're not going right into the article, you're kind of scanning through and looking for headlines. And on your website, you have some things about the titles of the web pages, but really not a whole lot in terms of very catchy or intriguing headlines. Nothing that would jump out at me and say, hey, I need to click here or go to this page on my website and get more information, and hopefully get deeper into the website and contact you. So without that, typically a website visitor will know within 2 to 3 seconds whether or not they're going to be staying on there, and so you want to make sure that a catchy headline and a good copy there will keep them interested in your site. So number 5 is a lack of testimonials. So on your site, I didn't see anything as far as testimonials or social proof. So no testimonials from current customers or current people living there, and no instances of social proof from other organizations, maybe hospitals, retiree organizations, and so on, to vouch for or endorse your center. These are very, very critical in helping to guide people to make decisions. Seeing testimonials, seeing live testimonials, referral letters, and so on goes a long way to instilling a sense of trust with customers. And so having those on your website will definitely help you convert more visitors into paying customers. So number 6 is the idea of a friendly design or navigation. So your design is very simple, but it's not very clear what can be clicked on. For example, I can click on some things on the left, but maybe I want to click on some things on the right, and I don't have updates there. It's very small within my web page, so it could be expanded out, which would especially help with some of the older clientele. So it just could be much more emphasized, larger print, and a little bit more, maybe a few more selections, more enticing instead of just a welcome screen, and just better overall organization of the website. That'll help a lot more with, again, keeping people interested in the website, making it easy to navigate, and ultimately looking forward to making the next step. And so number 7, and possibly most important, are good calls to action. So on your website, you have a few different ways to contact us. So you have a contact screen, and then a phone number, and then an email icon here. So those are really the only 2 ways that a potential visitor would be able to reach out to you. Really, you want to have a call to action much more front and center on your website. So with this, it could be a simple informational box where people could set up time for a tour or a visit, or just to get on the email list. And then also make it much easier to have the email address and the phone number. So that really should be front and center to make it easy for people to reach out and contact you. The easier it is that they can contact you, or that they can sign up for the emails or get information, the more likely they will be to do that. And you'll be able to further reach out to prospective customers and hopefully be able to drive them to the center and ultimately have them sign up. So with that, those are the 7 main issues that I've seen with the website. And the bottom line is that these things are costing you money. And so the good news about that is that they can be easily fixed. And we can go through these in a little bit of an in-depth conversation. You can do that by calling me to set up an appointment or emailing me below to schedule a no-commitment consultation. And this is usually $250, but we do it with no obligation to get deeper into these issues and hopefully help you guide on to getting these issues fixed. And if so, we'd be more than happy to discuss working with our team to get that done. So feel free to reach out to me at 312-550-7924 or david@effectiveresultsmarketing.com, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.